Hello everybody, here we are. Welcome back and let's get started from here on. And of course, we are gonna be focusing on the same thing. We had some bugs and I just have only half an hour to just fix that. Hopefully, that bug is gonna be fixed. After that, I will have to just I have to go to something else. So without any further delay, this was the issue by the way in this one. The thing is that we initialized November Turborepo project, and once that got done, after that we were trying to just set up the Shadcn here, but we were facing some errors. That's it. This was the simple thing. So hopefully this error is going to be gone right now, and we just used some of the commands. We just followed everything, and we've still been facing the error. So let me do one thing, and that is go to the Shadcn. I think this is how. Otherwise, there are two ways. Either you just do it manually, or you just go with the uh, like command that is given by Shadcn. But again, still, even if you do that, there's high probability of facing the error with the command as well, because I did that and I faced that. But let's see whether we can just simply resolve that right now or not. Before that, I have to just do one thing, checking the status of the live and turning the chats off. Okay, here we are. It's already been 1 minute, sorry. I was about to say 1 hour. So it's already been 1 minute and 20 seconds, around 30. And already this come on. Already this should be fine. And over here I have to mainly go to, let me close this for now. This is not quite needed. I don't need this either. Shadcn with a Turborepo, just like this, or monorepo. The monorepo Shadcn, this is the one that I have here. And let's simply click on this. And this comes from where? This mainly comes from here, from the last. So so this is the section, and over here they have given us the command, but the thing is that this command doesn't work. As I tried, but it doesn't seem to be working. So let me give it one more try, and hopefully this time it's gonna work. Otherwise I will have to go with some other uh, package managers. Right now I'm gonna be going with bun here. So this is the time for the bun, and let's simply, I already have many of them open, and what are they here for? This one, Winston, I've already learned this, so no need to have it here. Overall things are fine, especially when it comes to the Winston. So yeah, I can close this, and not only closing, I will even delete this particular stuff from here. So Winston, let's simply delete this. As for the test, I'm gonna be having it here, and let's close this too. And coming back to this test one, open with the code. The main problem is not the business logic. We can write the business logic anytime. The main problem is the setup. Get the setup ready so that everything is actually organized. So you have to write the code, but that code should be written systematically. By the way, we are here, and we will be just simply pasting this command. Hopefully it will be initializing it. Earlier I tried to do the same thing, but it failed to initialize this, and this time let's see what's gonna happen. So this is the name is gonna be okay. Next monorepo, that doesn't really matter. Hopefully it's gonna be working. Apart from this particular thing, okay, it will just keep the process will keep running. Then I'm gonna be using npm as well, or maybe pnpm, so that hopefully this works too. Not sure about this thing, but I'd better give it a try. So coming back to this one, and ls and pnpm. Coming back to this, what am I supposed to do? Let's select this one, pnpm deluxe Shadcn latest. Let's simply initialize the monorepo using this as well, and hopefully either some of, at least any one of them will just simply work here. Okay, so this thing is running here. So this thing is going on, and Next.js and Nova. Okay, Radix, next monorepo. Okay, that's okay, fine. Ignored build scripts. This which dependencies should allow in the pnpm approve builds to pick which dependencies should be allowed and all. Okay, never mind. coming back to this particular section, it is creating this Next.js project, but it may take quite some time. So ultimately bun doesn't seem to be working at all for some reason. And then here we have pnpm. Hopefully this will work, or if none of these works, so ultimately it's not gonna work. And if it doesn't work, then I will be figuring it out something else. By the way, let them run here. And the main problem was here, right? I have leave and all everything, but as soon as I initialized, I faced the issue. So of course I have to go with bun right now, and bun Shadcn latest add a component. So this is how we add the component, but this is not that we have to do. So in that case I can go to the top, installation Next.js, and bun.x Shadcn and all. So ultimately for initializing monorepo flag, we have this control C, and bun Shadcn latest t monorepo. Hopefully it's gonna work. Let's see. I'm damn sure that I will get the errors. Let's not hope it to work at all, but let's see what's gonna happen. So the thing is that undefined is not object evaluating child proxy op. So first of all, I will be giving this particular error to the ChatGPT. I hope it will be able to just simply give me some ideas exactly why I'm getting this, and this is where I'm getting this. And most of the things I have already resolved, and what I want, I should be exactly clear about the way how it is actually initialized and all. So the important part of your terminal here is this. This happened while running this monorepo. So skipped to workspace UI components, and this indicates Shadcn try to modify files inside your monorepo UI package, but something in config is not matching, especially around styles path workspace structure. So looking at your folder structure, web package UI, this is correct Turborepo structure, but the issue is likely because Shadcn expected styles inside web source, while project probably doesn't use source folder. This line confirming this update source styles global.css, but your project actually has styles global.css, so source styles does not exist and causing the crash. Is that so? Very simple. Inside that I have to just simply change the path. So CSS path should be source style global.css probably. Let me check that. So I have this inside this. So if I go to the TS config and coming back to this one, I don't have CSS, and where do I have to just change it? I have to change it inside components.json. So coming back to this, the CSS is inside source styles global.css, source styles globals.css. So yeah, this is right actually. This is right over here. What about at the top? Yeah, that could be problematic. So fine with this, but if I go to the app, and not only app, mainly the components.json, and CSS is packages UI source styles globals.css. So this is fine. I mean CSS is right. What could be the problem? So at the rate workspace, ultimately over here I have problem. So at the rate workspace UI components button.tsx is tried. So skip the two files. Files might be identical. Use override to override. Files might be identical. So ultimately those files do not need to be there. How about this? That's not gonna work. So in that case, if those files are identical, right? So how about just simply removing this global.css from here? And how about just simply removing this button.tsx from here, and then simply run it, and let's see what's gonna happen. Nova. Okay, so at the end it is saying that something went wrong, please check the error below. No such file or directory. So ultimately this is even not found. So this definitely needs to be there. So I need to have this globals.css. So globals.css, this needs to be here. Run it again. Okay, and I can even, okay, so after that something, undefined is not an object. Undefined is not an object. Updating styles global.css, but it is not getting updated, mainly because there is no tailwind. Is that so? Before I go ahead with CSS stuff, I will have to install tailwind if I'm not wrong, and probably because of that thing I'm getting the error. But okay, this is where I'm fine with this. But apart from this particular thing, the commands that I ran, they are still in the progress, like pnpm worked, checking dependencies, source. So this is how it looks like if I go to UI, then source, then styles, global.css. So this is how it's look. I can copy paste everything from here, it will definitely work. But before that, styles, source, UI, packages. So inside packages, I mean this folder structure, inside packages I have to go to UI, inside UI I have to go to package.json, not even UI, I think UI, yeah. And in this particular case, when it comes to dependencies, so I need to have tailwind merge. So ultimately tailwind CSS needs to be there anyhow. Is that no? Tailwind CSS needs to be there. I think because of that thing I'm getting this error. So let's do one thing. If okay, bun is not gonna work, so let's simply stop this process. For some reason bun is not able to, again this is just a new package manager, ultimately runtime environment. So if it is facing the error, so that's not really a big problem with that. So the main problem could be in this particular packages and UI. So cd packages UI ls, and if I just simply cat package.json, so ultimately over here I don't have tailwind, and I think that is the reason I'm getting the error. So let me do one thing in order to get the tailwind right. Okay, even if I want to get tailwind, I will have to install that. So tailwind.css.com, hopefully it will work, otherwise I already have this as well. So when it comes to installing tailwind, before even doing anything else, I will have to install tailwind, and this needs to be done over here. So coming back to this particular section, cd postgres UI, install tailwind, configure tailwind, import tailwind, and then set Shadcn. Okay, so let's go to the documentation of tailwind. Get started, and this time I'm gonna be going with the Next.js, because at the end of the day that is what being used. So let's simply copy everything from here and simply oh sorry okay, this is done. Bun, add this, install. So this is how it's gonna be going on. And apart from this particular thing, what else do I need to do? This has been installed. Once it is actually installed, then I have to create a file called post css config.mjs, and I think even in the documentation that has been mentioned here. Coming back to this, so packages UI post css, yeah, let's create that. So inside UI, workspace node source, this, and I'm gonna be copying and pasting the stuff. What can I do? I have to go to the documentation. Let's simply copy it all, and once it is copied, I'm gonna be pasting it here. So once this is actually pasted, that's it, no need to worry about anything, and I hope I'm not missing anything right now. This is almost done. Lastly, I have to copy this, I have to go to the global.css and I have to add it there. So coming back to this one, go to the global.css inside this and simply add this here. Try to run the same commands. If I just simply cd few directories back, if I check the history, and what was the command that I was running earlier, this was the one. So let's simply Control Shift C, Control Shift V, enter, and let's see what's gonna happen this time. This time the difference, okay, it worked, everybody. Amazing. So glad to get it done. The thing is that mm, this is how Shadcn has been Shadcn works. So you can integrate Shadcn. It takes a little work, and not only that, that much work. You need to make sure that tailwind is already initialized. There. Tailwind is already added. Then it will be able to get the job done. So this is how the things go on. So inside components, I should be getting. I am not getting button.tsx. So I can create a button.tsx, but ultimately it's gonna be working RFC button. So this is how it's gonna be working on and all. So yeah, great job. So we are able to do this. That simply means I'm gonna be doing it again very soon. But yeah, it got done. Nothing could be better than this. So let's simply close this. And of course I'll have to delete that. That was just a testing file that I created, because I don't want to have lots of unnecessary things over here. So inside learning testing app, even what is there inside this code? It's better to delete the unnecessary stuff, bun related stuff. This was the example file that I actually created for learning purpose, and that got done yesterday. And was there anything remaining? I don't think so. We've already done everything else, and the code has even been pushed to the GitHub, so we can get it done. Okay, we tried to use the EC2 client and all, so this is something that can be done. So we can work on this. So let it be here. So ultimately EC2 SDK, just like this. So let's name it this, so that I know exactly what it's gonna be doing. Apart from this particular thing, this Google Meet is not gonna be required. Let's go to this Google Meet app, and over here in this particular section I was just simply working, and I think it's already open. Sorry, I don't even need to do anything. Coming back to this one, ls, this already exists, but apart from this particular thing, if I go here, this is which section? This is the next monorepo that I actually initialized right now. Let's simply close this. And how about this particular section? This is the PNPM that I initialized right now. Let's simply close this one as well. So ultimately, if I go to text, I have to just simply delete them as well. So if I go to test, these were the two ones that I was testing, so let's get rid of them. And overall things are clear. Slowly things are actually getting back on track, and that's what I actually wanted. By the way, this needs to be remade here. So let's start working on this. Overall setup is ready. ls, this was the main project that I was working on, and we have even done quite a lot of things here. Okay, so let's collapse everything, make it a bit smaller, and inside this I have UI. Inside UI I have this thing. And one more thing, if I run the turborepo command directly from here, so the good thing is that now we know how Shadcn is set up. So amazing job actually. So next time onwards I will not have to worry about at least setting up. Even right now, after what, 30 minutes, it's already been 30 minutes, I can't even work on this quite much. But let me run this command for the last time and see whether it actually works or not. As for this one, I have to get a setup ready for an edtech project, because in the evening at 6 o'clock around I have to talk to the people regarding that. So at least setup should be ready. So let's simply work on that. But before that, I will work on this website, the website that I was working earlier, like this video calling app using so many text stacks and all. But right now there's an important thing, and I have what, 1.5 hours for that. So Shadcn with Turborepo. Let me just run this command for the last time, so that I'm sure that there are no errors as such. And for checking that, I have to go to the installation, Next.js. This is the turborepo command. I'm gonna be running it in the root dir clear. Hopefully I will not get the errors. Radix Nova. Yeah, so it works. So ultimately everything's working the right way. I'm just gonna be exiting from this one as well, because I have to create a one turborepo setup for edtech project. And what is that edtech project? Again, it's not like I'm gonna be the only one working in that project. I will there are some other participants, but let's see, most of the things I will have to manage on my own. So let's see how it's gonna be going on. But talking about that particular edtech project, so if I go to my world, and inside my world, if I click on software, if I go to edtech, so over here I've been just simply managing the things. So this is just the about that. But before that, before even getting anything done, first of all let's get the basic project basic setup ready. I think would be better. And so that people can start working on that. So basic setup in the ready, in the sense Tailwind should be there. Yeah, I mean normal setup. Now let's simply work on that so that people can start working on the front end part, and then I will work on some other things. So project, this was the edtech thing. I have the backend stuff. Let's not worry about that. This is gonna be Turborepo. So in that case, just a minute. Edtech on the, if the name, let me make it edtech. I started working on the backend part, but then I thought of actually adding what I thought of just a sec, going with Turborepo, and because of that thing I'm just simply gonna be initializing it here. So ultimately I have to just get the setup ready so that other people, they can just simply start working on it, and that's it. Once the setup is ready, I won't have to worry about anything. Coming back to this setup, getting the setup ready is actually really easy. The first thing is that you have to go to the Turborepo. So Turborepo, just simply go there, click on this, and because the thing is that in future we may be building apps as well. So adding the React Native, I mean creating an app using React Native would be easier here, and most of the things would already be ready by that time. So Bunex create turbo @latest. So simply Bunex create turbo @latest. So this is well, it's gonna be current directory. I'm gonna be using question npm yarn bun. The thing is that if I go with bun, in that case things are going to be a bit easier for me, because I will not have to I won't have to compile convert JS code into TS code, because bun runs them directly. But for now let's simply go with npm. That would be better. In this project, should I integrate bun? Integrating bun, don't really, that's gonna be the best thing. npm. Okay, let's do it. I know I will face the issue, especially when sending the client and all from here to there. We may be facing some issues with this, so we may have to just simply convert our TS code into JS code, and then we can even get it done that way. But don't really have any other option. npm should be enough for now, but let's see what's gonna be happening later. Again, it's gonna be taking a bit while, so meanwhile I can go to the setup. Even how about Daisy UI with a Turborepo? Is there anything as such? Tailwind CSS component library Daisy UI. Tailwind Daisy UI starter readme master. Turborepo. How can I use this? Tailwind CSS library Daisy UI. It's okay. Installing issues in monolith with integrating DGUI versus Shadcn. Install DGUI as Tailwind plugin. Okay. DGUI @latest. Where do I want to use this? Next.js. When it comes to Next.js, what do I need to do here? Create, after that install this DGUI. So ultimately I need to just install DGUI. Once it is installed, I have to just simply configure it like this. I have to just simply import it. I think DaisyUI is going to be enough. I mean, easy to just integrate, so let's not worry about that. Shadcn is even that's easy peasy. At least right now we can do it easily. npm deluxe turbo login. So right now, as it is recommended, so let's simply do this. npm deluxe turbo login. Hopefully others, they will be able to manage this thing, because if I'm building this, I want to build it with the best tech stack. I just don't want to build it just for building purpose, because in future I know I will add many features here. So ultimately the setup should be the best from the beginning. npx, okay, I can just simply link it here. Yes, others can do the same too. By the way, it has been linked apart from this particular thing. Okay, I don't really need to worry about anything. What else? The next thing is that first of all, I'm going to be deleting this docs from here. I will have only one web here. Apart from this particular thing, just inside this I will be creating a backend. So HTTP server, and then I will be creating one more, and that's gonna be WebSocket server. So there are gonna be two servers, and of course they are gonna be needed. So ultimately this is the setup overall that's going to be like. But before even that, inside packages I have this UI, and now I have to have Shadcn here. But before having Shadcn, I need to have Tailwind. But before even getting both the things done, Shadcn, just simply search Shadcn, that should be enough. I can simply get it this monorepo section from here. But this monorepo section is just not enough. First of all, this is the overall. By the way, it can easily be integrated here, so no need to worry about this particular thing. And as for this one, I need to have the components and all. So let's even create the folder structure. So inside UI, these many things I need to have. So really quickly, inside source, first of all, button, card, code, inside source. What all do I need to have? Components. So components, and for example I can have button dot tsx just inside that, as simple as that, simple, easy peasy. Just inside source I need to have hooks. Again, there are gonna be no hooks as if right now, but later we will be adding it. So hooks. And the next thing is that we need to have a lib. So inside source I'm gonna be having let's make it like this, lib slash I mean just simply have lib. And inside utils, so utils.ts, this is how it's going to be going on. So this thing is also done. Lastly I will have styles globals.css, right? So just inside this is styles slash globals.css, just like this. So it is going to be created, and I need to have this components.json at both the places. So I just click on this, add components.json. Well, sorry, file components.json, and that's nothing. Just simply copy and paste the stuff. One more thing, I need to go here as well and inside web, and I actually have to just do the same thing, components.json, just like this. Once it is done, then the next step comes this. So this is gonna be the part of components.json. So let's simply copy it, let's simply paste it here. I will be checking exactly how the things are there, but overall it is already pre-ready code, so there are very less chances of having the errors here. But I will be just simply having a look at this for sure. Coming back to this one, it is just simply saying that you are going to be using Radix and Nova. This is true. You will be using Tailwind, and the source is going to be for style CSS, source styles globals.css, base color is going to be neutral, I mean all these things. And then components, added workspace UI components, they are there, utilities are here, hooks are here, libs are here, and UI's components are here, and you will be exporting all the things. Components, utilities, hooks, lib, and UI, all the things are actually going to be exported, and because of that thing you are doing it like this. By the way, components and UI, I mean they are kind of the same thing. Never mind, this thing is done. And coming back to this this particular section, this components JSON. So overall things are same. The CSS changed over here, the path to the back to the UI section, packages UI, and add components, add hooks, add lib, add utils, and this. So UI, add workspace UI components. This UI stands for the UI. Utils stands for utilities that are there, and lib is going to be here only. Hook is gonna be here only. These components are gonna be here only. But these two things, they are actually coming from the add workspace UI lib utils. Just a minute. Utils. If I can take a quick help from ChatGPT, explain utils and UI part. So in your Shadcn components analysis section, tells Shadcn where different kinds of files live project. It helps the CLI know where to import or generate files. You asked about these two specifically. Let's break them down. Utils. This alias points to packages UI source lib utils. So why it is workspace? So the file usually contains helper functions used by components. So ultimately it contains these and they are simply referencing there. So inside utils I should have all of them, inside UI I should have all the components. Then this workspace should not be here, rather I should have @repo. So okay, @workspace, but the name is not workspace. Okay, so I think I need to replace workspace with the repo, uh, because coming back to this package.json @repo UI, @repo UI package.json, because of this. Let's see what it is actually gonna be saying. Okay, this needs to be replaced. So instead of having this, I'm gonna be having @repo.ui. So ultimately this does make sense. So it will be having all the UIs, it will be having all the utilities, and they're actually gonna be coming from there. As for the components, alias components. So what means now? UI components is gonna be button @repo UI. Okay, this is not the time to just UI components. Import button from @repo UI components, and import utility from @UI lib utils. Okay, your final mono repo structure is gonna be looking like this. That is great, but package UI package.json source components button and all. One small improvement: exports everything from source. This won't export. This won't export nested folders. So I will have to export them. So ultimately source is going to be exported. Better version dot export everything, and whatever inside source just export it. Okay, got that. So ultimately everything inside source is going to be exported. So overall things are done. As for this, I will be digging deeper into it, so it's not like this is just the end, this is rather the beginning. So inside everything inside source needs to be exported, or even better, I can have commands like these. I can export everything one by one. I mean, this is again personal choice, even if I'm just simply exporting everything inside source directly. So I'll actually have to just simply give it the right path, and then it is going to be done. And even giving the right path will not be problematic. So let's go with this only. Later I can even make it better, but okay, not for now. Outdir this dist. The common source directory of the TS config is source. Outdir must explicitly set. The common directory of TS config is source. The root dir setting must be explicitly set to this or another to adjust your outputs file layout. Visit this. One more thing. Because earlier I was just simply using bun, and here I'm having to use p and pm. So will I have to compile code to JS before exporting if I use p and pm, or it's gonna work directly? Sure, it can work directly without compiling, but only in certain setups. Let's clarify. You have this and inside package UI, when you don't need to compile. If your package is used only inside the mono repo by Next.js app, you usually do not need to compile TypeScript to JS. So Next.js can compile TypeScript from workspace package automatically. That's great. So at least this thing we won't have to do. So it can be compiled. Why this works? Because this workspace manager like pnpm links the package directly internally. It becomes something like this. Okay, so UPI I'm saying UI. So when you do need to compile, you must build the package if publishing to npm npm publish. node backend white another app another repo. So node JS backend or white app or another repo. So it works directly in for Next.js, and it's not gonna work for others. So ultimately I will have to compile it for others if your runtime cannot compile TypeScript. Okay, so ultimately for now it's gonna be working. Later if we want to add the app too, so we will have to of course focus on the compilation part, but okay, for now we are fine with this. So this much is great. As for this compilation, I will be skipping this particular step for now. Later I think I will have to edit, especially if I'm gonna be adding app as well. Right now the main focus is gonna be on the website. So this particular thing is done, and the next thing is that downloading Tailwind. So this should be quite simple as well. So tailwind css.com and Daisy UI, getting these things ready here. Again, Next.js is gonna be used here, so let's simply make it quick. Coming back, how many? Okay, we have to just go with this only. Copy, and where do I have to go? ls. Okay, edX cd apps/web, and simply install it here. Once, oh, sorry, I'm using bun this time. Sorry, pnpm this time. So I think pnpm add should be enough. pnpm. So this is how it's gonna be going on. I need to create post this particular section. So let's copy it. Let's come back here and inside web app. So inside this, let's simply create this particular file. Once it is created, copy everything from here, come back to this particular section, paste it here. Once it is done, what is the next thing that I have to do? Copy this import from here, go to the global CSS, and global CSS, delete everything from here, paste it here. Once everything is actually deleted from here, come back to the pages, again remove everything, RFC, we'll get the new home page. So this is how it's gonna be going on. And apart from this particular thing, what do I have to do? I have to go to the UI section. So cd few steps back, ls cd packages UI, and let's follow the same process. Following the same process in the sense, first of all I need to simply install this. Again that's gonna be error, so let's simply pnpm add. Once this is done, come back to this particular section. I will have to create this particular file from here. So copy. Once it is copied, inside UI, create this post css file over here. Once it is created, copy the code, paste the code. Apart from this particular thing, copy this, and I have to go to global.css, paste it here. Overall things are done. And what is the next thing? Once I am done with this, I have to just simply go to Shadcn again, installation, Next.js, monorepo, and this should work right now. So let's go to the root directory, simply run it. It should just right now if I check this thing, like if I check global.css, I have only this much. And similarly in this particular section, I have two global dots files. Close everything. This is the first global.css file, and similarly I have, this is the second global.css file. And if I actually have a look at them, there's actually nothing. Radix, Nova, and let's see what's gonna happen. Whew. Okay, apart from this particular thing, I even have to add Daisy UI and all. Congratulations, it got generated here, but it did not get generated here, so I will have to run another command that was for this. Next, let me run this command as well. Okay, fonts are updating, so let's wait. It's not done yet, so I have to wait for a while. And I think if I run those commands from the root dir directory, in that case it should be working fine. Having said that, over here almost I've got all the styles, all the style for the Shadcn at least. So let's simply close this. This hasn't been updated yet, so I don't even need that here, because when it comes to CSS, okay, so because I have already done everything here. So in that case, if I go to this globals and ultimately components.json, so CSS is being referred here. So even if I don't have that should be working fine. What is the problem here? I'm gonna be doing it one more time, hopefully it will be quick. The dependencies are, oh shit. Whew. Am I crazy? That was the problem. PNPM. I have to go with this. Hopefully it's gonna be just overwriting everything, whatever got installed. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Hopefully it's gonna be just getting the job done the right way, because I just used one by mistake here, and that was problematic. Updating fonts, okay, this is done, so that's great. What is the next thing? The next thing is that actually creating using Tailwind CSS and seeing whether there is any effect or not. So okay, that's gonna be simple. Let's simply Shadcn, because this was the whole setup for the Shadcn only. So as for this thing, first of all, let's check the web app page, class name, height, screen, bg, green 300. So this text, center, font, bold, text, 3xl. Ultimately this is how it's gonna be going on. ls turbo dev. Well, it is running great. Let's simply open this. So this is gonna be the, again there's nothing's has been added related to authentication and all, but okay. First of all, this import cn from this where am I getting this error? I'm actually getting it from layout.tsx, and this needs to be imported from somewhere else, and actually I have to get many things done here. Come back here, it is not actually over yet, so let's simply stop it. Not over yet in the sense I have this UI over here. This UI needs to be imported here, and hopefully that is getting, so yeah. But before that, ls pm install. So one deprecated subdependency found, package to no demox deprecated. If I do it again, okay, that's fine. And what is the next thing that I have to do? The next thing is that if I directly run it, will it still be problematic? This utility, I'm getting it from the workspace, but I don't have to get it. So let's simply get rid of this workspace, in the sense current one, but this needs to be imported from somewhere else. And global CSS, cn, right, that needs to be here, this cn. And hopefully I have it inside inside utilities. I don't really have it here, and I'm actually exporting that, so it's better to have it here too. So if I actually go to the documentation, it got the overall things done, but it's not like it got everything done. So Shadcn with a Turborepo. If I actually, there is a proper blog for this, and everything's actually explained there quite well, so it's better to just simply go through that. So ultimately when it comes to this, mainly I'm gonna be talking about utility. So setting up Shadcn package UI, I'm gonna add the utility, right? Yep, I am adding the utility. So what will I do? I will just simply get it from there. So font app lib. Well, as the Shadcn hasn't been initialized, I don't really have utility here. Interesting stuff. So let me do one thing. Let me get this utility from here, at least for now. Control C, and coming back to this particular section over here, inside utility I'm gonna be just simply pasting it. It will work. Global I have, utility I have right now. Hooks they are not needed. Button tsx, okay, that's fine. Close this. Once this is done, then I need cn here. So if I just I'm gonna be importing it from here, so it's actually going to be imported from this. Once this is done, ls, and after that turbo dev. Let's see what's gonna happen. At the repo UI lib utils.js. So from utils.js, I'm actually unable to get it. If I'm actually trying to get it from there, it should be here. This should be TS or what? That's gonna be problematic. That needs to be JS. Anyhow, if I click on this, I am here. So in that case, what is the problem? It is just simply saying that module not found. It is unable to resolve that. All the utilities should be here so that they can just simply be imported. Okay. How can I copy it? C stands for copy, right? I hope it has been copied. And it turns out, yeah. The problem is that JS extension in your import. So, okay, so what can I do? Package util.js module not found. So fix can be what? Fix can be just this much, right? Interesting. Next TypeScript plus is automatically resolve this. Great job. So if I actually just remove this particular thing from here, will it be resolved? So can't find this utils. pm install. Still it's unable to find that. Turbo dev. Interesting. Still getting that error. It is working, that's great, happy to know that. But how to get rid of this error now? This is working, but how to resolve this error? I need a new chat. It's taking a lot of time to just simply respond. This is from TypeScript VS Code, not from Next.js, and also in that case can't find, and also fix add path mapping. So open apps web tsconfig.json and add path, so pointing to the UI. So I need to add the path. Yeah, this needs to be added. So the path needs to be added, and this needs to be pointing to that particular source. So everything that I want inside UI, that needs to be pointing to this particular section. That's amazing job. I haven't done that yet, but I remembered this because that was the same thing mentioned here as well. So somewhere I did add the path. Apart from this particular thing, they are talking about this, that inside UI source styles global.css packages UI, this should be fine. But let's see if I get the error. We have a lot of options here, but first of all I could have exported them separately, but keeping that thing aside, I have to add the path, and that must be mentioned somewhere. Path, yeah, so here it is. So inside the tsconfig I have to just simply add this. So I had to add everything that belonged to the source section in the current directory, and add the repo UI for this particular section. So I'm gonna be just adding it here as well. So what will I do? tsconfig, that is mainly here from here. So just below this Am I right? Paths. And inside tsconfig.json I have to just directly add it there. So just below this, okay, this is done, and I'm gonna just simply add this. So add the repo slash UI. Inside this, whatever I have, that will be pointing to what? That will be pointing to dot dot slash dot dot. So from the current directory 2 steps back, okay, slash packages slash source and everything inside source. Oh sorry, forgot one thing. UI slash source slash everything inside that. So this is how it's gonna be going on, and I hopefully it's gonna be right. Once it is actually added, check out the path dot 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 packages UI source everything inside that. Add the repo UI, so that's exactly the same thing I'm doing. And base URL is gonna be, I think base URL is actually deprecated, so even if I try to use that, it will not be working. Inside path I need to have it. Where did I have to add this? Extends inside compiler options. Literally, will it be working here? There. This path was supposed to be added inside compiler options. And sorry, this is wrong. Now this should be fine. But this needs to be added inside compiler options. Where was I supposed to be adding? As per the documentation. As per the documentation. Update your tsconfig file. So I have to just simply update this. But it's just going to be added like that. Right now, still this error is still here. That simply means even if I am redirected there, I have to resolve this. That simply means path hasn't been configured right. So let's go to compiler options, and I will be keeping it here, but then it doesn't seem to be working. That simply means I have to, okay, I need to keep it here. Sorry for that. Coming back to this particular section, this dot, let's simply get rid of this, not needed. So ultimately I'm gonna be having path over here, and the error is gone. Okay, so ultimately we've done it. So what I had to do, and how about if I add it outside that, somewhere here, the error is still here. So anyway, I will have to keep it inside compiler options only. So yeah, mainly compiler options, make sure that these things are added there. So yeah, it does make sense in that way. So great. And how about this global.css? Can't find module or declaration. So if I'm unable to find that, so I think I'd better just simply add that as well. So at the rate what was there, at the rate slash everything is gonna be pointing to, let's see whether it actually resolves that or not. This much I've done here. For the, I'm gonna be knowing the reason behind this as well, because this is the error that I face every time I create any app, Next.js app and all, with Tailwind CSS. In the reason I don't know. You actually have two different TypeScript layers in that screenshot. You will, but VS Code shows them because TypeScript doesn't fully understand the setup yet. So create a file app-web global.d.ts and add .css there. declare module dot everything dot css. Now TypeScript understands CSS imports. Really? Just this much. Error for @repo UI live utils. TS config, I have already done that, so I don't need to worry about it. The next thing is that I have to declare a module so that it is TypeScript understands CSS imports and all. Okay, that's great. That simply means first of all I need to get rid of this. Not needed, at least here. And it was giving me like base URL option. I mean, this was the one or something. But I think it's gonna be wrong because the dot is not acceptable if I'm not wrong here. It doesn't really make any sense to me, so I'm gonna be removing that. If I why do we add that? That's the one thing. Why do we add base URL? It's already 5:09. I have around 20 minutes to just keep working on this. After that I will have to just look for some other options. Base URL is so that TypeScript knows where module resolution should start when non-relative imports and paths are usage. Let's break it down. Without base URL, TypeScript only understands CN this. Okay. Because that is the relative path. But if you write CN live utils, TypeScript doesn't know about @repo means. So when you add base URL, you are telling TypeScript start resolving modules from this directory. Dot means web. So now TypeScript can apply path usage. Okay, that's great. That's the use of that. Got it. So let's simply add that to base URL. From the current directory. Does it need to be an array? Okay. No, base URL is not an array, so if it doesn't need to be an array, in that case why am I going to get this error? So let me remove this. There is happening because base URL is placed in the wrong location. In your screenshot you wrote inside paths is which is incorrect. You currently have something like this. Okay, TypeScript expects only a usage inside paths, so it complains. So ultimately base URL should be where then? Base URL should be inside this, and then I have left this. By mistake I kept it inside that. Sorry for that. Let me move it upwards. How about this? Happy person. Base URL is deprecated. Now will not stop base URL is deprecated and will stop functioning in TypeScript 7. Specify compiler option ignore deprecation. So 6.0 to silence this error. Visit this. Remove it. Not needed. Apart from this particular thing, close this. As for this particular error, I actually have to create one file here. And what was the right location for that particular file? That is the TypeScript related error. And I had to just do that. It turns out it's gonna be taking ages to just simply get that again. Oh god. Okay, here. So inside web I need to have global.d.ts. So inside web I need to have global.d.ts, and I can say declare module everything.css. Yeah, now no errors as such. It understands the imports. Interesting. Close this. Even this is great. So ultimately whatever it suggested we've done already. Now we are done with this. So ultimately, okay, what is the next thing? The next thing is that let's check this thing out. Is this actually working or not? So ls, it is already running. Turborepo. So at least Tailwind should be working, and that is working right now. What is the next thing that we can do? We can actually try to use a what is that called? Yeah, Shadcn. So for using Shadcn, all the components are actually gonna be inside this particular component section, and I'm gonna be removing this button, and I'm gonna be getting the components here. The question is, how will you get the components? Shadcn getting components. So when it comes to getting the components from Shadcn, I think this is the Shadcn section. Yeah. So from here, if I want to actually get this section, I mean these. So pnpm dlx Shadcn at the latest and add button. So let's simply do that and see whether it's gonna be happening or not. So ls cd into packages slash ui, and once I'm inside the UI, I'm gonna be just simply running this command pnpm dlx at the latest at UI. Everything needs to be here, and from here I will be exporting. Congratulations. Inside components. Oi, किधर गए हो? हाँ. I said congratulations for no reason. Okay, it got skipped. So skipped file might be identical. Use override to override. Europe. Override. At the rate workspace UI components. This is the this should not be the problem, but this is the problem. So in that case, repo, the name should be this, obviously. Oh sorry, let's remove this particular section from here. Here we are. अरे यार, I thought आ गया, then नहीं आ गया. So I have two things here. I have workspace. This workspace related stuff is not quite needed. So at the repo. Okay, this is inside. What the hell? Okay. What will I actually do? This should be in the current directory, and for that thing, forget about add. I mean all these things. How about this? This should be at the rate. Try to do this. Let's see what's gonna be happening. I got this at the rate, and then components button.css. It automatically gets created. In that case, how did I do it at the top? Schema components. This one. At the rate components directly. So coming back to this particular section, at the rate, that means current directory, then lib at the rate. I think this should be fine. Hooks, similarly this particular section as well, and similarly this particular section as well. At the rate components, they need to be here in the current directory. Same I'm gonna be doing here. Components, lib utils, okay. Hooks lib this. I think it will be working. Okay, so this time at the rate components button. This at the rate is not gonna leave me. So I'll have to initialize the monorepo project, and then I'll have to see the flow there. Then only I can resolve this. Okay, let's do that. I hope PNPM will be able to get it done really quick. So, or let me take the help of AI. I hope it will be able to help me. Let's clear the new chat. I have the problem with the analysis. The way I'm defining the path, that's wrong. And correct the analysis. The problem is mainly this line at this, so the wrong. Your component should be at that components. Correct class for your structure. Analysis this. Exactly, that's what I'm doing here. UI is gonna be at that. Okay, so UI is gonna be this slash UI. This is gonna be the UI section. So this is mainly responsible for that, and the remaining one should be that. Okay, so UI has this much. That means it has to start from here, and remaining things need to be just like this. Let's try it now. Oh, sorry, not that. Okay, that button was the problem. So now let me remove everything from here. Non-models, okay, it's good to have them. And I need to have everything inside source. So if I just simply right now what will happen? So I'm getting at the rate. Let's see, give it again. Coming back to this particular section, paths are gonna be at the this source message. Final correct setup is gonna be this. TS config should have a path, and that's gonna be at the rate everything should actually start from this. That simply means, okay, just a sec. If you want, I also show you the correct Shadcn Turborepo folder structure used by production projects. It will save you a lot of headaches later. Okay. TS config. I haven't added the path. Paths. Everything should actually start from source slash everything. And there should actually be an array. It's like this. How about anything else? The remaining things are fine. Let's have a comma here. Have a comma here as well, and then it should be okay. And once this is all right, after that UI non-modules. For some reason it is stopped. Okay, not a problem. Let's simply run it right now and see what happens. So inside hooks, inside components. So right now inside components I'm getting my UI and button.tsx. I just have to get my, yeah, I think this is right. How about this component? Why am I getting this? if I just remove this UI section. So ultimately two things were required, specifying the path in the TS config, first of all that thing. Apart from this particular thing, you have to configure the components.json properly. So ultimately UI is this particular section, so UI is gonna be this and the remaining things are gonna be like this. Let's simply npm dlx shadcn latest add button. Button is added inside components, there is UI and then button.tsx. So this is how buttons are actually added, and that's okay, that's what I actually wanted, didn't I? And once I have my button, so once I have this particular button, so I just need to export this button from here. So close everything. Once this is done, I want to check whether this button actually works or not. So coming back to this particular section, I need a button. This button needs to be imported from there. Now I'm gonna say hi there, click on button, I'm gonna be there. That simply means it is working. And class name, sorry, variation actually, variant. Let's have destructive and let's see what's gonna be happening here now. Turbo dev, sorry, hopefully it will work, but let's see. Congratulations, got another error, and that is the module not found. So can't resolve @lib utils. And where is this coming from? This is coming from button.tsx. So @lib. Okay, it is unable to find it from the same directory. So packages UI components, server component, page, module not found. This was the problem. And what is the next thing that I can do? The next thing is come back here inside lib. I have this utils.ts and I'm simply exporting it from here. And I have this button.tsx. As for importing this, so I'm importing it from UI button. That is okay. Apart from this particular thing, I can close this. And if I actually go to the button, if I click on, see here, it does redirect me here. But then why am I getting that error? What was that error? ls cd projects okay. So ultimately this is the error. It is just simply saying that can't resolve @lib utils. How about keeping it @repo? Because it was like that by default. Let me even go through that setup, exactly what was there, because so far I've been adding the things on my own. I could get some idea from the heritage. So whenever I'm actually adding this app web components.json, over there it needs to be UI needs to be @repo UI components. Okay, let's get the help from this. So components @components hooks @hooks, so lib @lib, but UI and utilities they should be from UI lib utils. Components should be @repo components. So first of all, this is the thing that you have to take care of. And so let me even check it with the components JSON. Amazing job. I think I changed it as per my thinking, but maybe I changed something else and I thought I changed this. Let me remove this from here. I was thinking that I am using a repo over here, but in reality I wasn't. Okay, this is the first thing, and I'm just simply exporting everything from there. Apart from this particular thing, where else am I using the same? The path, okay, I did. Dependency, okay, done. Apart from this particular thing, okay, this is the export. Okay, let's not worry about this. Apart from this particular thing, okay, this is the section. So it should be @repo everywhere. So @repo UI, this. So components, I even need to have UI over here. So UI is gonna be @repo UI components. This is the part, and this is the UI part. Then components @UI components, libo. How about just simply copying the whole thing from here, coming back to this particular section here. I hope I'm there. Components.json, replacing it all with that. So going ahead with this, stop everything, even delete this button for now. Okay, even components has been deleted, that's okay. And the next thing is that I'm gonna be adding the button. So Shadcn add a component. It looks like you are running add component from monorepo root. Oh, sorry, yaar. It's just simply saying that to use a Shadcn in specific workspace, use a C in specific workspace. First of all, I have to go to CD, and I can go with this as well. By the way, never mind. CD packages UI. I run the same command. Button. Okay, so ultimately what happened here? @repo. Okay. @repo I got. So if I'm actually getting repo over here, so what is the configuration for this then? Okay, fine. Configuration. Let's check this thing out from the beginning. Am I missing something here? Okay, this actually starts from here. Install everything, got this thing done. When it comes to the path, so @repo UI and everything. So @repo UI everything references to the source. Am I doing this? Over here, first of all, let's delete this here. This is crazy. Coming back to this particular section, components, a mail ts config, actually not even the component section. So instead of referencing to this first of all, path is going to be @repo/UI/. I'm gonna be taking the help of two of them. That's great. I could have gone with the documentation, this thing directly, but never mind. The blog ultimately, source and everything. So ultimately @repo UI references to this source. So whatever needs to be done, that needs to be done inside the source. That simply means if I try to do it now, components, great job. So this path was the problem, and now we are actually getting everything inside the components. Can you imagine? That's amazing job actually. Thanks to this blog, I mean thanks to two things. First of all, this Shadcn, but again they haven't described everything well. So this blog has been actually described everything on Medium. So great job by this particular person, whoever did that. And as for the text used here, I don't know if it gets deleted or something. I'm gonna be copying everything from here and pasting it somewhere else, because this is something that will definitely work all the time. Okay, notes. Yeah, I mean this is just for the emergency purpose. If in case something happens, then at least I have it here. That's it, nothing else. This thing is done. Once this thing is done, after that let's close everything, go to the top, page.t6, cut it from here. Button needs to be imported from here. So this is how I'm gonna be getting it from the components, ls turbo dev. Oh, sorry. Turbo dev. Coming back to this, one more can't resolve Radix UI. Radix. Okay, not a problem. Monorepo, right? So Shadcn. This is what I have to copy, I mean, and hopefully if I paste it here and run it, it will be resolving everything. Just hope it will not convert everything to the workspace. So if I actually check this thing out from here, actually components.json, everything is still Redis, right? And right now, Turborepo, if I actually go here, still getting the same. And what is this 0? So it is just simply saying that packages UI source components button.tsx app web app page.tsx. It is saying this slot is not available. So radix.ui. This is causing the issue, and I have to go to which page? Button.tsx. So inside button.tsx, I'm getting this. That's okay. 34 is already. Button.tsx. This slot is the issue, but I'm getting it here. But what could be the reason then? As I'm already getting it, the CN should be coming from UI tools. So am I missing something? So this thing is done. Setting up this, we have done this. Install all of them, and we have done that. After that, the configuration part, base URL, it doesn't work at least now, but everything else is done. And then global CSS done with this as well. Then we have done it too. After that, UI, we have to add this, and when adding this source styles global.css, we are doing it New York and lucid @repo. We are actually just following everything here, and this is the only thing that we are missing, if I'm not wrong. Apart from this thing, everything is there. This just tell me to can include all the names from the UI source layer, otherwise they might get purged from the final CSS build. And exports, this is how you have to export them. Let's not worry about that. And let's try to add this in the globals.css here at the top or somewhere. If it works, that's great. If it doesn't work, of course, then I will take the help of AI this time again. It's not gonna work. What could be the reason behind this? Can't resolve Radix. That simply means I have to install it, but Radix is not a package. Shadcn uses Radix primitives packages like this. So fix can be import slot from. Change this line packages UI source components button.tsx to Radix UI @Radix UI React slot. Then install the packages. This Radix is the problem, right? UI from here. So if I actually go here, not there. Actually, this particular Radix. So if I actually go here, so node modules and Radix dot this. don't blame me for not speaking, because um, I don't have the energy left. Okay, even I have to just simply figure it out. I only have 20 minutes or something. So this Redis is the issue. Slot. This is just the type. In that case, why am I using it for? Slot button, slot root. This is the thing. And in the documentation, nothing as such has been mentioned. Redis. Not really. Let me follow it completely from the beginning till the end, and then I'll see whether I face the same issue or not. CI, this is done. npm install tailwind, this thing is already done. We have done it, and then setting Shadcn. This we have installed these, and we don't really need to worry about it. Having said that, I'm gonna be installing it again. It's better to just simply follow one thing and guaranteed one. cd packages /ui. Okay, this is going to be installed. After that, I have to just simply add this particular step, base URL, this path include. So going with many things, that's gonna be the problematic thing. So better just go with only one. So what is the problem? The problem is a complete log of this can be found npm. Okay, got it. npm add, they are going to be added here. One deprecated, that's fine, never mind. Apart from this particular thing, what is the next thing? The next thing is that extend should be there, compiler option should be there, base URL include and exclude should be there, and that too inside this particular section. So inside tsconfig.json, extend compiler strict to true path, so include and exclude. Okay, I can just simply even copy and paste this thing, but okay, overall things are fine. Then I should have a tailwind tw animate css. So inside global.tss, tailwind, and this Shadcn tailwind css, and that is it, done with this. Utility helper Shadcn, that is already there, so no need to worry about that. After that, config, talk about this components JSON. So first of all, style these things. Okay, this thing is done. Coming back to this one, schema, style, Nova, New York. Okay, fine. Tailwind, config, source styles, globals.css, base, icon, lucid, components, UI, utils, repo, hooks, everything's kind of okay. What is the next thing? The next thing is that adding this, and that I have already done at the end, maybe at the top. Yeah, and after that, using Shadcn components and Next.js project. So if I actually go with the Next.js project inside package.json. So inside package.json, what do I have to do? Mainly I have to export. That should be inside UI only. So but here I'm just simply exporting the things one by one. Exporting is not a problem. Then over there I have to just simply export it, npm install, and then I need to have something called post.css-config.js even at the top. So okay, let's simply add it there as well. So I have post.css-config here, and at the top inside web, post.css-config. Let's simply do it like this. After that, ts config path @ui, everything inside that. So this is how it's gonna be going on, and hopefully I already have that. So when it comes to this path, so I have it here, and after that next configure transpile. So ultimately inside web I have to add this particular thing as well, ensure CY is compiled and all. So let's simply copy it, go to next config, as for this next configure, import type directions can only be used inside the TypeScript. Okay, fine. So let's make it .ts. Same thing needs to be done at the and in this particular section as well. So I don't really have it here, no problem. Next is gonna be this particular section, so app web, and when it comes to this components JSON file inside app, so schema new arc, okay, that's fine. Packages source UI source global.css, right? Okay, fine. Neutral and components hooks lib, and then repo UI lib utils repo this as well, and then import everything layout tsx. The global css should be imported from where? It should actually be imported from UI. So okay, fine. So close everything. The global dot the layout.tsx that I actually have here, the layout.tsx. So I'm gonna be getting rid of this, pasting it here. That's it. Now you can use the Shadcn components anywhere in your Next.js app like this. So from this I have to get the button. Once I got the button, the job is gonna be done. The thing is that once this is done, packages UI source components button.tsx, let's go to the top, cn, not even cn, this is what I'm worried about, and kind of we are getting it here. So if I just simply run this, and if it doesn't work, then I will be taking the help of ChatGPT. Turborepo. Error evaluating Node.js code. So apps web evaluating Node.js code, that's where I'm facing this issue. So export default, this is the problematic thing. Okay, so let me do one thing. Module not found, right? Am I exporting it from here? Okay, the way it is being exported, that is the problem. So I can go to apps and web, and what post CSS config, right? So this is the one. Slash where do I have to go? Post CSS config, but the thing is that I'm not really exporting it. Okay, that's the problem. So when it comes to this post CSS config that I have here, mjs config is not quite being exported, so I'll actually have to export it so that I can use it there. And when I'm actually exporting it, UI, so if I'm making it like this UI will not make any sense. So that is inside this, and over here what was the thing? I was actually exporting it separately. So when it comes to exportation, ultimately I was exporting this as well, but over there I'm not exporting, so it's better to use the normal one, whatever I had. I mean, later I can just even focus on this, but for now it should be fine. Turborepo. Now this is the issue. The next thing is that global.css that is not found. Okay, so that is just a path related issue. If I go here, I need to export the things properly. Exporting is the issue here, but okay. Layout slash styles slash global.css. Okay. Packages UI source styles global.css. Over here the file that I have, global file, that is the problem. So simple thing inside packages UI source components button.tsx. So in that case, if I actually remove this from here, 49 styles global.css. Let's keep it like this. Slot is the problem. Let's see if we are actually able to resolve this or not. Otherwise I had better just simply go through this. You actually have two separate problems that let me fix them one by one. Slot, replace it with UI react slot, so it should be imported from there. Then install npm add redux UI react slot filter UI. So ultimately it needs to be imported separately if that is the error. Wrong utils and cn lib utils. Okay, let's do it. Whatever it is, just simply asking me to do. So first of all, because that is the package that is not there, so I'm just simply gonna be adding it. So or add redux UI react slot. So this is what I have to have. Let's simply see what's gonna happen. Next time I will just try to follow just the documentation. Hope that will work too. But for now, cd packages UI, this particular thing, it's going to be added. Once it is actually added, let's get rid of this and button. Now I can get it from here as well. There are two ways. Either I get it from here, but if I get it from here, that's some way problematic, even if I try to do that. Not this. Turborepo, let's see what's gonna happen. So what is the issue with this? The same global.css error evaluating node.js code, this fine, and ultimately layout.tsx. So in this particular case, what if I import it from somewhere else, like slot from this, then try to run this. So now the main problem, package UI source, over there I have an issue. cn. So what if I import cn from error evaluating this. Why? I mean D actually. No, this setup is crazy one. I can directly make the websites on Next.js and all. Getting the setup ready. I mean ready. This makes my mind go crazy. अरे नहीं भाई इसको नहीं. I have to just simply copy it. Alrighty, I'm gonna be calling it right now because I have to just do something. I'll have to prepare for something else. So I'm gonna be catching up soon. Take care and have a great day ahead. I'm gonna be catching up soon. Unfortunately, I have to just leave it here only. But yeah, see you soon.